Hi everyone, DD here, back with another quick live stream. Just trying to get everything set up, and I'll be with you very shortly. Trying to make sure I get everything. Yeah. Right, cool. Right. There you go. Just put it out there. Go back to my that. And got one of my siblings said hi, so hi to you too. I'm gonna put this over here. Now, take it out of my case first. So up. And also, that's for one of my siblings' birthday today, so happy birthday to them. We're gonna have a fun time later. I'll do a bit of the live stream and then I might end it shortly and join the party a little bit. Alright, so I got that sorted out. Got everything here. There you go. And yeah, we're gonna be playing the Stanley Power Belt. And I've got to transfer this game over. Happened like that before where you've got to move stuff over. Take too long. Yeah, everything off will be sorted. Yeah. Other than that. Yeah. I got my new webcam sorted out, and I actually got a wing light on it as well. So to get a bit darker, I can actually turn the wing light on. For some reason, my old one just does not want to work anymore, so I got this one sorted out. Wasn't that expensive after all. So yeah, I got that sorted out. Other than all, everything else should be working fine. Might be in a little bit way. That should be out for now. Yeah, it's only just a little small bit of thing anyway. Other than all, everything else is sorted out. Let's try and play this game. Now, for this game here, I'm going to try and beat all the achievements in the game. But I have seen a lot of people actually have played this game. So it'll be a bit of an experience for this game if everyone have played it. But I'm going to do the best I can with that game. Sinless. I've got to confirm it. Have you played Stanley Powerball before? No, I haven't. We've been justified until very big. set it to the current time. Right, right. So we're going to be playing this game anyway. Alright, make sure that everything is not too loud. Music will be turned off.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I might put
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man.
That's 70. And and there you go, about 70. Alright, let's play this game. I'm gonna try and get every achievement in the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day something very peculiar happened, something that would forever change Stanley, something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so that's the first part of the game now. And also, if you have not seen the trailer that I did just posted will be definitely horror every October day. But I do know mine took one day forward than the US, so it will be a little bit confusing for them. But yeah, every October over here will be something horror related. So I've got 2 games already on the Xbox which is horror. I might get some more later on, but for now I've got those 2 games. This isn't class of horror, but I'm just going to be playing this game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to be following the narrator boy.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, the door on the left, so we're going to follow the narrator for the first one.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Right, we're going to go...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Recognitions and stuff, leaving the game as well.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. "2845.
Oh, I'm back.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Oh, we're just about to do it, right? Guess I didn't follow the narrator. Bust the trap.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
So that's another
Facility.
engine there, but I'm going straight ahead. Like I said, I'm following the narrator's voice. I didn't follow the first bit of it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There's one where you can press the button so many times that like the party mode. Can't do that. No. I think there's also
This
one where you
mind
jump down here.
control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Right here.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over...
Turn it off. Hi mate, how you on?
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
I think I'm just about to
Where
beat the
had
first
his
engine.
co-workers gone?
And,
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
I have the
Whatever
original
life
game.
he lives,
Oh, that's
it
good.
will be
I
his.
actually got the Stanley
And that
Power
was all he
version.
needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Just, but not even at me. There you go, now
Stanley
I
felt
did.
the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yep. There you go, we've done the first one. Beat the game. Complete the Stanley Power Bell. Yeah, I've done that one. And get my first achievement. So I got 2 achievements out of that. Apparently. Now I think there's one where you're not going to watch it.
All of his co-workers were gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
There you
No,
go.
no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Hey, don't click on that wall.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Where is 417? Okay.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
So I got to find 437. Interesting button passing. Where is it? 4.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. Where's 415?
Now, back to door number 437.
That's it, 437. Not where 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Copy machine? Where on earth is the copy machine? Where are you? There you go. Right here.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting
417,
somewhere.
okay, I'm down back to 417. Where the hell are you? I'm trying to get this achievement.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419, yeah.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
41.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
It's out and doing the copy machine. Oh god. What am I doing with this? What am I doing? Oh, goodness. Now the question
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow.
Hey, I done
That
it.
felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
But
Just
the
think,
question
only a few
line
minutes ago,
of its
you believed
own
an
first.
achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Okay, I think I've done that one. I think there's also one with the PC, I think I can find it. There's like one where you quit the PC, I think. Remember correctly? There you go. Do you? There you go. And then I think every game we set, gonna do that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, the racing import, yep. Alright, so should I go to the left or the right this time? What one should I do? You know, I'll let you choose this one now. Left or right? Alright, we're done right then.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
Oh,
he
did
wanted
I?
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Oh god. I don't know why I did that. Right, now I'm going back out.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You know what, I'm debating the order. I'm not doing it.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Or have it?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Yeah, then
Give me
into
a chance.
jumping off the platform.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, I'm colorblind, I can't see.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
This is the red door, I'm colorblind.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
This is the red door, I'm
All right,
colorblind.
fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Worth bracing, yep. Alright, should I go through that door, or should I go through the same door that I went through again? Oh no, I might go through that.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically. But a 1? That's not even helpful. Okay. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Stanley Powerville Worldwide Leaderboard, okay. Good old news is offline for 2 sessions. $900 $328. And it's online for... Yeah, that is not right. I've not been online for that many. Okay, I'm on here.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
No, I'll be honest.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game,
I remember
the baby
this one.
crawls left
I've seen this online
danger.
before.
You click the button to move him back to the right.
This one's gonna be a pain, though, because you gotta do it for 4 hours.
It's a very meaningful game. All about the desperation and tedium of endlessly.
I don't think I want to do this for 4 hours live stream right now.
I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
It gets quite annoying, doesn't it? You know what, I'm gonna let it kill just now. I don't want to do this for 4 hours.
You heartless bastard.
Hey!
Did you do it because you hate babies or
Watch
purely
your
to
mouth,
spite me?
elevator.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out.
That's the achievement.
It's over.
Just you play it. Yeah, I know.
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game?
Ooh, it's someone else's game.
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Alright, let's play someone else's game, apparently.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory?
I
what is
don't
our
know,
motivation?
actually. I actually don't know what this game's based on.
If
you do, that would be amazing, but I don't actually know.
Innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Let's open the door for him. Thought it would. Alright, let's go down there. I know it, Firewash. Oh, okay, so it's based off Firewash. Okay.
Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God,
yes.
Quickly block it off.
Why?
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Why?
Really
No, wait, why?
That thing. That
why
big,
do you have
open,
to do that to
just
me?
wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Go ahead, mate.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh, watch it leave. Yes.
Wonderful. See, this
I
is
might
exactly
have to
what
play
I
this
had
another
in mind.
time.
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't
Watch it
any
leave.
possibility that you could get lost
Watch
here.
it leave.
Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Now way to taking other
Okay,
people's
so what
game. I'm
exactly
doing
do
you,
we
no
do
way,
here?
I'm doing you.
See, there are
You're
lots of
taking other
cars here in
people's
the
game.
back,
I'm
but
doing
obviously
you,
there's
no way.
racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball?
No,
Stanley,
watch it leave.
I
I'm
think
doing
it's
you.
sports ball.
I
Oh,
am
what fun.
doing you, no way.
We shall run the bases and
doing
do a
people's
touchdown
game.
together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
I'm gonna take it to the blue side.
Are you
blue
doing it?
side.
Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable
not when
little
it's
story
doing
that I
people's
worked so
game.
hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball
Course you're not a
generates a
sportsologist.
certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports
I think
experience.
there's an ending
I'm going
falling
to try
down there
that.
as well.
Here comes
But
another
I think
ball.
there's also one where you don't fall down, so I have no
Yes.
clue.
Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
How many balls do you need now, Hater? This is Waffet Lee. It's toppling the thing. Let's Louis step right here. Waffet Lee. Stop stealing people's game. No, Waiter.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun?
Not
Is
when
this
you're
a
stealing
real
off
video
someone.
game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes.
This is
You
not
get to have fun
your
when I
game,
let you,
no,
Stanley.
Waiter. You stole it.
Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
So do I actually have to fall down there, or do I wait for him to come back and do another game? Because I think there's one where it comes down to Minecraft stuff like that too. Not sure. I think there is an ending where you fall down and it come out with Minecraft. Okay, I think think I do have to fall down. Get on, Shafford, Billy. Alright, I'm going down.
What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story with...
Trying to share me a little bit. 427, the room I'm in.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Yep. The end is never the end. Yep, I told. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Wait,
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think my office is the last one. I can remember. Yeah, there's enough one. There's also an ending where you can bite out of the game, I think. It's somewhere around here, I think. Somehow I managed to get out from... I need to get out of it. Yeah, there you go. Like the game.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. what if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is Rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
So yeah, I made it here, but there actually any way to get out of here? Did I actually break the game by doing it? I actually did by doing it. Do I have to basically just restart the game here, or what? Because I actually don't know. Okay, so I do have to restart. But
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
okay, fair enough. The next one is somewhere in the office.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Next one is actually on this. Ah. You know what? I'm gonna try and put.
Stepping in,
Yep, there you go. I played it. Oh, I didn't know that part of it. Now leaving. 8 Bay 4. Don't know that was an option. Okay. Oh, I did now. Okay, up there. Yeah, there's the same room there apparently. Four 32. Same. Straightforward. Something like yeah, and it's never end. I think if you do this one with the bucket would die instead of you, I think. Alright, so we've done that ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And then the next
No
one
matter
will
how
be
hard
my...
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think if I go to here again, but go on, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the one with the yes, I think. I should have gone here again.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Yeah, I already kind of know,
He then
mate.
praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
There you go.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
And I think I just do this.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need.
Oh.
If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Damn it. Did I mess it up? I messed it up already. Oh, they don't help. Just did it. Welcome to the Stanley. Welcome Stanley to heaven. I did it. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else to do after this. I just gotta restart. So do I have to restart this one as well, or is there a way I can get out of this as well? I did it. Can't jump. Here for we jump. favorite. Yes, I kinda know we can't jump. I think I gotta restart this one, unfortunately. Alright, let's restart that one. Since we've already done that one.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Okay, so we've already done most of it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, let's go to the left one this time and finish all the one on the left first.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find a... Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay, let's do that and then just go back in here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
I don't even know what FA means.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite."
But that's what I'm trying to do,
your
man.
friends find this concerning.
You know what? I'll stay on the life with him. Hey mate, I got the broom closet
Stanley was
ending.
fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection.
How
That's
dare you
stupid
say that
it
to
is.
him?
That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What the hell? No, wait.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Oh yeah, I'm
Got
dead.
to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have
That really hard to say. Why does I have headphones on? How am I supposed to hear you?
It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
Guys,
Please remove their
that
corpse
ending's my
from the area
favourite.
and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee
second
you
player.
too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Did I get it, or do I have to do it again next time? But since I got to continue that one now, I really put thing. I don't think there's any other thing to do now. Done it. Yeah, since I've done that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs.
I don't think
to
there's
his
an ending
boss's
FD. I
office.
think there actually is, but I just don't remember how someone did it.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss,
Yep, and on
admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all
Yeah, I'm
dream.
dreaming.
Oh, what a relief.
Wake up,
Stanley
me.
felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside
What
this
is
one.
your brain play Stanley Power
Let me
Belt and
wake
life
up,
thing?
he thought to himself.
It why
I'm
this
through with this dream. I
and
wish
this
it to be
ending.
over. Let me go back to my job.
Let me read that
continue
again.
pushing
What
the
if you
buttons.
in a room,
Please.
find Stanley
That's all I
Power and
want.
live streaming it
I want my
If-
apartment, and
by
my
getting
wife,
this ending?
and my
Oh
job.
no, am I dreaming
All
of
I
hearing
want
the
is
live
my
stream
life
like this?
exactly the way it's always
When
been.
that's all, man.
My life is normal.
Yeah, this is a dream. I'm doing a live stream of Stanley Power
Everything
out of
will be
him dreaming and
fine.
I'm dreaming. What is this not real? Oh no!
Okay.
You just purchased his Shannon.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be. And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh. For another person, no.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
So we made that.
All of his
ending.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping, oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take, too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845.
284.
Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever.
Right.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, Trying to input anything on the device was useless, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
2845, yeah, thank you,
He
mate.
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I think there's also one where if you speed run it, get mad at you. That's what I was trying to do, but yeah, that didn't work. I'm gonna have to do that again when I get down there. Since we already got this ending, I'm gonna
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control.
I'm gonna do that one shortly. And after we're gonna do this one here. I think the one where you hit the right button so many times.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh yeah, there's also one where you can jump off here. Go up here. Down. Yep, there you go.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Oh yeah, the music's been turned off, so that's why. Not too bad, we've done an hour of live stream so far. Oh there you go, it's actually end, I sure hadn't. Alright, let's try that again.
How long
This
was
time
I
I'm
sitting
gonna...
there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
You bastard, you closed the door.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean, he wondered? Desperate for answers, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I'll press up. No, I can't press up, apparently. Thought there would be a way to go up and beat the game or something like that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's go straight ahead and see if I can get that light in there. I think there was a way to do it. I pressed it once.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, maybe it's this one here where I get that.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Doesn't look like it's a part of the ending here, but there was a way to make the party room sort of thing light up, but I don't think it's actually in this update. I don't.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay, I think there's a way to maybe
operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
But off might be something else.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
Yellow 4 button. Where's the yellow 4 button?
About you, about me,
That's 1.
where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley.
I think that actually is a way to win this part of the game, or not 100% sure.
That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say...
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look and see if I can do it. But there might be a way to actually beat the game that way, but I have no clue. And it doesn't look like there's a party mode on that right thing, so... Guess that won't be a thing then.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Well, I can if I want to, but I'm going to go this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, so we've done that one. That's an achievement.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope, not going to. I'm gonna avoid this.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Look,
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything.
I'm pardon the phone, take you to
How on earth are you making meaningful
ending
choices?
Okay.
What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Nope, I'm not gonna process it. Not even 4:30, so.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay, well, I'm gonna follow you.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, I'm going this way.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to. I'm still here in this pile of rubbish, with you, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even
Take the door on the right.
I
did. Take the door on the right.
There's a world outside of you. You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Go to the right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope, let's do it on to the right. Oh god, the game is still pushing.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Still gonna take the right door.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Still gonna take the right, unless something keeps happening after we take the left.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
Do I have to
responsibly
take the left
and
door,
always
or do
putting
I
the
still
story
continue
first.
doing the right?
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I think it's the loot.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay, I think I've got to go to the left door then.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
I think I've got to go
Stanley
to the
came
left
to a
then.
set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go to the left then.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I can't open the broom closet, you... Damn it. And I can't go
Coming to a
down either.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I can't do that either.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening
Stanley,
to me?
will open, but...
Me?
Hear me?
Is everything all right?
Is it actually the
Stanley,
engine
this
of
is
it?
important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can
I
work
actually
together.
found the
I'll
real
accept
engine.
Whatever you do, I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know.
Did I actually find the real
I need
engine?
this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Oh, just like a fake engine. I found the real engine. Alright.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
And I'll do that one shortly. After.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
There was a few more engine which content.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey, look like new content there now.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Yeah, let's go. Go to normally I go. So you... Come on.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
I won the dome.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Okay. You restart it then.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
I didn't know there was an adventure line.
How simple is that?
Okay, let's follow the line then.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving
But yeah,
forward,
I didn't know there was a story like
a
this.
journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the
there,
very manifestation
all
of the
around
nature
here.
of life itself. Whoa.
Around here, up here, around there, down there.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where
Up
I was
to
going.
there.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Around. Up there, around here. Around there. Good dad. Down here, like this. Going through. Oh god, the line is making me very confused half the time. Down here, through here. Up there, around there, up to the wall, down there. All the way here, up the staircase, on here, there. All the way down here. Goodness.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
Go back and look at.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember
I'm looking at it right now.
You won't want to miss anything.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. I'm doing some research and I tell you nothing, it's just a firm. Alright, and heading off. Oh god. Wait, what?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right?
Just a picture of the task in
Is
the
any of this ringing a
and
bell?
come through the way. Okay, we're going through here then, I guess.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Hey, Joe, we're restarting then.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
There we go, this way then.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Oh my god, we're done in a
Whatever it might be,
circle.
Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
That way.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
17 hours, 22
You're
minutes,
telling
and
me
yeah,
that's
I
what
don't.
this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come first?
I don't think that timing is right.
Will something
happen? I don't think so either.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Add on it,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, basically that. Now
When
I think
Stanley
there's one
came
more
to
we
a set
can
of two
do.
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, I think there's one thing we can do. And
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, we can go through. No, that would have. Yeah, apparently. Oh, I didn't know that was a part of it. Did you know this was a part of it? But I didn't know. But yeah, did you know about this? But I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know that was a part of it.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
What? I didn't know that no one was gonna do that. What? Yeah, not sure. It's just filthy. I didn't know that no one was gonna do that. Like blah blah blah. That.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Oh,
that
we're not gonna
read
do that this
Mind
time. We're
Control
going
Facility.
right this way this time.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I'm going this way.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Up, I'm going this way.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
On this way, I don't care, I'm on this way. Bye! Yeah, it's getting quite warm lately.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Look on it, 20.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as
Wait,
Stanley
there's
was
a
led
female version?
helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single
I didn't know there
visceral
was a female
instant,
version of
Stanley
Snow
was
White.
obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Kidding me? There's a female version of the Norway.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game
Stanley
back
Power
in his
Girl.
office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Stanley
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment
Office
he hit
layout.
start?
That will be my office. And that will be everyone else's office. Then we walk through that the other office. Corridor, and place where we make our tea. Office, office door. 1, 2. Buttons down. Okay. But the office has an early version of the maintenance room. Oh, okay, so that's an early version of it. In December 2018, the Ultra Deluxe version of Power of the Giant Reward screenshot of the game where we made it. Can I make a screen? Yeah, I took a screenshot. Oh yeah, we haven't done the phone one yet. So there's still one more thing that we can do there. The meeting room, yep. Is there a way out of here? But I think it's just to show you around and stuff. Kinda getting stick area a bit.
When Stanley came to the lift, he travelled upward to the power source at the top of the facility.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to get out of this area, to be honest. Yep, I think this is it.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your Xbox. There's no other way to beat this game.
No, I'm
As
not
long as
going
you
to.
move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
since there's one more choice we can do before we go on into the new version.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
New content, we'll do that shortly.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, took the first open door on his left.
No, I don't, right over here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
Alright, we'll do that.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh, God.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. His decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
No, I'm not going to do it then. I don't want to do it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay, so we've done that ending. So the only one we haven't tried is the one that takes 4 hours. I'm not doing. I'll do that off
All of
cam.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Gonna go here now.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh,
Yeah,
there we
there you
go.
go.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Jump share.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
The one thing I know for sure is that people have used all of it at once. I wonder if I keep most of it, will actually give me a special achievement for it. So, I'm gonna press jump once, and I will keep the rest.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of